All right, welcome back. It's now time to catch you up on the race around the world. And joining me now is our Ozarks Live producer, Charles. Charles, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for letting me be on.
Of course. Okay, so this is your first season that you've ever watched of The Amazing Race. So I just want to know, before we dive into the episode, what are you thinking of this season?
I really like it. I'm glad that I kind of got pulled into watching it because it's really been a fun show to watch.
Yeah, now on a somber note, so something the viewers don't know is behind the scenes, our crew, we kind of each have picked a team that we're rooting for this season. And we won't say who just yet, but your team was the one that got eliminated this week, which is kind of sad.
It was sad.
So, but they're a great team.
They
so
were.
You had a really good pick. All right, so let's get into the episode. So we start with 7 teams, and the first challenge they must face is rappelling down the side of a castle in a roadblock called Who Wants to Climb the Family Tree? Now, okay, as you can see, there's this huge like memory wall of different family crests and such, and they essentially had to go see the memory wall, try and remember all of that.
There were way too many. I would never would have remembered any of them.
There's way too many, absolutely. And then rappel down the side of the castle, and then there was like kind of a test of like 5 of them at the end.
I couldn't have done this either.
You don't think so?
No, I would have looked down and been like, sorry, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we were talking about this earlier, you and I don't think the rappelling looked that scary until the cameraman like tilted it over the side, and I was like, that looks a little higher than I thought.
Yeah, you saw how high it actually was.
Yeah. Now, what did you think? Okay, so Michelle is kind of the first one that did it. So she kind of had that initial strategy of, I'm just going to go down, see what it is, and come back. And then kind of a lot of the other people really followed in suit. Do you think that was a good strategy?
Oh, I think so. And I was kind of surprised that everybody actually started to do that. Because I feel like they did not like announce their strategy to other teams.
I agree.
And I was surprised that like most of them actually thought of, hey, I'm going to go down, look at this first and see what I need to know, and then go back up.
Yeah, I thought it was really clever because when you look at that, I mean, that was a daunting like screen to look at. I would have never even remembered like probably 3 of them.
I would have I've been like, where do I start?
Yeah.
Where do I start?
Yeah, it was really challenging. Okay, so after they rappel down the castle, the teams then travel to the next challenge and choose between Detour's Walnut Cracker or Medieval Gamer. So this first one was kind of like a medieval game setup, but it was more like carnival games.
Yeah.
And it was funny because a lot of the teams ended up choosing the Walnut one, but the medieval games was weird because it looked challenging but also easy at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know like what the better bet would have been.
Yeah, sometimes you see those things and you're like, oh, that looks easy, but then when you actually start to do it, you would be like, oh my gosh, this is actually impossible.
Right. Well, and this one didn't look so hard because they essentially had to toss these like little beanie bag things on top of the pole, but then the one where they had to talk to each other about getting the ball up the wall into the hole, that looked hard to me.
Yeah, because I mean, there's so much you have to maneuver around, and your directions are opposite of your partners at that point. But they did, most of them who did that did super fast.
Did super well, absolutely. Now, the other option was walnut cracker, as I mentioned. So they essentially had to take all these walnuts, crack them, and then like grind them, and then like the little juice came out and they had to fill it to the line, which didn't seem that hard, but it was a lot more time consuming.
And I feel like it would have been very tedious, just the repetitive amount of it all.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, and it's funny because you saw a lot of the other teams leaving, and the teams that were still stuck there were getting really agitated, but I'm like, you chose the one with more time. I don't know what you expected here.
Right.
So now, this leg, okay, so it was really close, except for the last place team. It was really close between all of them. So the military brothers come in first, and Glinda and Lumumba were unfortunately sent home because they arrived last. Now, here's what's funny about it, okay? So Glinda and Lumumba, they had to start 45 minutes behind, which was kind of like the twist revealed from the last episode because the other team was eliminated due to COVID, right? So with Glinda and Lumumba, then on the way to the castle, they get their car stuck in a ditch, okay?
Yep.
So what was your first reaction when you saw that on the screen?
You know, I feel like if they would have just backed up the other way, they would have been fine. But I mean, you can never tell sometimes with those grassy fields what's there.
Absolutely.
So I was very disappointed that
it was
that
kind
happened
of funny
for them.
though. And honestly, here's the thing: I was sad it happened to them, but I think it was the best team to happen to because they handled it with grace.
Yeah, they kept a great attitude. The whole
and
thing.
they happened to be kind of in like I think on someone's private driveway or road. So they happened to just get some neighbors, and they called her the granny. She came out with her tractor and she just pulled them right out. The car had no scratches on it. It was really insane, but. I don't know, this team, I'm really sad they're going.
I am too.
Because I thought they were really positive. They were really strong throughout the entire season.
Yes, they were.
And I don't know, I'm just going to miss this team for sure. And it's weird because they started so strong.
Yeah.
And then they kind of fell as the season went on.
Yeah.
So I want to know, now that they're out, who do you have your eyes on?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know, it is tough.
All the teams are very, very good. And you never know who's going to get eliminated because if somebody takes one wrong turn, it could really hurt them.
Yeah.
I would have to say probably Louise and
And
what's her name?
Michelle.
Michelle,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
They won not this last episode, but the two before they won both those legs, and they've just been very strong.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hope it's not the military brothers.
Yeah.
They come across very cocky and egotistical
I
to
agree.
me, and I feel like they will do anything to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good bet. I really like Louise and Michelle, and I really don't like the Military Brothers.
Yeah.
And all the other teams are pretty strong.
Yeah.
So we'll see. There's just 6 teams left. As always, you can catch the next episode of The Amazing Race tomorrow night right here on CBS following Survivor. Or, of course, you can stream it on Paramount+. All right, well,